The story starts from the year 2020 when Haru was standing on the rooftop of the building of a tech company named Dragon Bank and was interviewing the company's CEO Carrie inside. Out of 5,000 people, now only 80 people were left to be interviewed. A guy named Gaku, after practicing his interview thoroughly in the washroom, goes to the interview hall. Due to being very nervous, when he wants to sit on the chair, he slips and falls. He answers the questions in fear throughout the interview. After this, Haru comes for the interview. He was full of confidence. He answers every question of the interviewer very boldly, due to which Kirka is quite impressed. Later, Gaku was buying food from the food vending machine, when the note goes up in the air. And Haru catches him. Both of them recognize each other after seeing each other, then they go to eat together, where from their conversation we come to know that Haru considers himself lucky and has cracked many interviews, while Gaku is very scared. It remains the same till date. She has not cracked even a single interview even though she is an expert in computers. Now the scene shifts to 2016. One night, some bad guys were snatching all Gaku's belongings and bullying him. Then Gaku's classmate Haru enters like a hero. He takes it and beats them fiercely. Then his attention falls on the CCTV, seeing which he runs away from there. He tells Gaku that now he will definitely be expelled, due to which Gaku feels very bad and he goes to save Haru. He hacks the CCTV camera with his laptop and deletes the footage of that time, due to which Haru gets very impressed and he feels that Kako will definitely do some good and big work in the future, but in the present, his condition was bad, he did not even have a job. There was so the next day, Gaku works to clean the glasses of Dragon Bank Company so that he can get some money. While inside, the training of the people selected in the interview was going on. Then Haru comes to Gaku and says that I was selected. But not you, that's why I myself left the job. The company which is not hiring a genius like you and is giving work to a hustler like me, will not be able to last long and we will buy this company, let's come together. Let's make a company called Trillion Game, in this we will earn trillions and buy this company. At this time, Haru shows big dreams to Gaku of a luxurious life in which he will have a wonderful house, servants and cars, but Gaku does not care about anything. While future in 2015, a company called Trillion Games has become very big and soon it joins hands with an AI company from America and Saudi Arabia, due to which all the media people rush to interview Gaku, but in this, they only talk about co-founder Haru. They were also asking questions which Gaku doesn't want to answer, i.e. in the future, Haru is not a part of Trillion Game Company even though it was his idea to start it, so what happened between them, we will get to know further. Well, Gaku's assistant gives him a new name. She gives him an office which was very big and beautiful, but Gaku was used to small offices only. Further, the assistant was about to throw his old chair in the trash, which Gaku refuses because he had many old memories attached to that chair. Scene now year 2027. Shift happens when Haru buys a new chair for Gaku. He had bought that chair for 2 lakh rupees, while both of them had savings of only 2 lakh rupees, due to which Gaku was going to start a company, but here Haru has spent all the money. If you had bought a chair, then how will the rest of the things be? Haru refuses to worry and says that Google will have to earn $2. In other words, we can buy anything in this world with $1 trillion, but to start a company, for this we have to arrange funds, for which Haru takes Gaku along with him to an investor. He had no experience, but he impresses the investor by showing a dummy portfolio, due to which the investor agrees to give him a fund of 1 million, but he demands 50 million rupees from Haru, for which the investor is unable to agree, but Haru does not accept defeat. He continues to try to convince many investors. In this process, he lies a lot. Due to getting so many rejections, Goku becomes worried. He gets shaken, but Haru was tension-free. He knew that he would reach his destination somehow or the other. In the next scene, he meets Kirka of Dragon Bank and asks for funds, to which Kirka says that the company which friends start together. It soon stops. On this, Haru says that no, this is our #1 friendship, it will never break. And as far as trust is concerned, I can pocket all the balls in one shot, that too by folding them blindly, but after this Eureka finds this impossible, so she agrees, but despite being blindfolded, Haru manages to pocket all the balls in one shot, much to everyone's surprise. Rika is instantly filled with money. A bag has been ordered which had 100 million rupees in it, seeing which Gaku and Haru were overjoyed, but in return, Kurka had a condition. She asks for 51 shares of her company to be transferred to her name, for which Haru does not agree because he has to pay the entire amount of the company. The control will go to Kurka, so he refuses to his face and leaves from there. After they leave, Kurka's assistant notices that the tie which Haru had tied and pocketed is visible through it, which means that he has cheated, about which Kurka already knew that on the day of the interview itself. She understood what Haru is, so she wants to somehow control Haru so that she can get him to do her work. On the other hand, Haru goes to a bar and creates a ruckus. That Dragon Bank is giving us a fund of 100 million so that this news reaches the ears of other investors and they can give them a good deal. Then they come to know from a lady that Dragon Bank is organizing an event called Cathan, in which the best hackers from all over the world will participate to hack a fake server and collect points. Whoever wins this game will get a lot of attention from the tech industry. On hearing this, Haru immediately registers Gaku for that competition, but he fails to register. Instead of writing the name of our team in the name, it was written that Kurka has offered us a fund of 100 million rupees. We are also accepting investment from other investors. Kurka's assistant notices this and understands that all this is Haru's doing. This is a trick, but he also knew that thousands of hackers will participate in this event, who will compete online, after which only 12 teams will get a chance to come to the offline event, in which Gaku's team has no chance. Gaku on the day of the qualifying round. He was waiting for Haru in his room, so he calls him and asks, "Brother, the game is about to start, where are you?" To which Haru replies, "I am having a party, you participate alone." Gaku gets nervous and logs in. This competition was going to last for 12 hours, in which there were many different types of tests. Gaku solves the questions by applying all his brain and his rank comes in the top half, but there were 4 people in the rest of the team and Gaku was alone because it seemed impossible for him to reach the top 12. At night, Haru comes with a laptop in his hand, in which about 100 computer nuts were on video call, who were now going to help Gaku. Actually, Haru sold his expensive watch and arranged a meetup of computer nuts. By having a party with them, he had convinced them to help Gaku. Till the next morning, they solve the questions and make their place in the top 12. After this, the scene shifts to the final of the security championship, where Gaku notices. He tells Kira that Haru hasn't arrived yet. He enters with a strange outfit right before the game starts. He also brought a strange prayer stick. He tells Kira that if we lose today, we will lose forever. For this, we will become your slaves, and if we win, you will become ours. On this, Rika says that she doesn't know forever, but she will definitely do a one-night stand with you, due to which even Rika's assistant gets surprised. After this, Haru says to his friend, he starts praying by shaking, due to which the other participants are not able to connect the Wi-Fi because Haru's stick had aluminum foil attached, while Gaku connects easily and starts collecting points by hacking on the other participants, but soon the organizers understand this thing. They stop Haru, due to which everyone's attention goes to his team and together they attack Gaku, due to which Gaku gets nervous because he was losing points. Then Haru encourages him and tells him that I had hidden a router. When these people connected to Wi-Fi, they had connected to our router instead of official Wi-Fi. Now you have their password, with the help of which you can easily attack their castle and collect points. Gaku easily wins by following Haru's advice, but their cheating is caught, due to which they are disqualified from the game. But Kuriki is very happy that both of them can go to any extent to start a company, but there was someone even more happy than Kurik, and that was Mr. Ki-doing, who was an investor, and now he was ready to fund Gaku and Haru, so he takes both of them to a bar where there were many models named Sayori. The models had shot many ads. There Haru introduces Gaku by calling him a great engineer, due to which the models start taking interest in him. They found him very cute, but then Haru says that he is the manager, i.e. he is with thousands of boys. Gaku's mouth falls open after hearing that he has slept, because like me, he was a very decent boy, he didn't even have a girlfriend. After this, Mr. Don talks about giving 30 million in exchange of shares on 20, but in the end, at 15, share payment is done, but Mr. Kido also had a condition. He wanted that either Gaku or Haru should seduce one of these models and come close to her. Actually, Mr. Don wanted to see that this started. Purge or not, because doing business is not a child's play. Kato fulfills this condition of in by sleeping with Hari Sayori. The next day Mr. Kato gives them 30 million, then Haru makes a profit of 3 million in the first month itself. On this, Mr. Kaito says that if you do not live up to your promise, I will make both of you my slaves. Haru accepts the condition and then takes a bath with the money in the tub in the hotel room. Along with this, Goku also clicks photos and gets many of his videos made. After this, he takes interviews to hire people in his company. He did not know how to ask questions in the interview, so he helps people with the help of a book. They check the ability of Gaku, in which they select a girl named Ren because she answers the questions correctly and she was also a nest. The next day she comes to work at Gaku's apartment but she has not yet joined the company. We had not even decided what to do, then Lone gives business ideas from many books. Finally, we decided that our company will be an AI-based online store, that is, it will suggest gifts to people with the help of AI, but the problem was to create AI. It was not a child's play, it required a lot of money and people, so they decided to make Lone a fake AI, that is, Lone would become AI and suggest gifts to people, Lone would work diligently, due to which their company would start growing. They were not getting as much profit as they had promised, so all three of them discuss it together and they come to know that people mostly like to give flowers as gifts, so they decide to focus on this. Earlier she used to work at a flower shop, hence she had a lot of knowledge about this field and she starts suggesting the right flowers for the right occasion. Further, Mr. K. Don has introduced her to Mr. Suzuki. Suzuki was the owner of a flowering company, that 2 trillion game company. They sign in but in return they ask to make a revenue of 20 million by the next month, so they try to establish their foot in the net club because in the net club, rich ladies used to become rental boyfriends who were called hosts and as a host. There may be many clients. Ladies love to give expensive flowers to their host but the problem was that here a guy named Hiroto was the #1 host and if they stole his customers then they would be fired from the job, yet Haru does not accept defeat. With the help of his smooth talking and magic, he talks to 2 women and brings them to that club. Through the web of words, he convinces the ladies there to order flowers from his app, but one lady behaves very rudely with Gaku. She comes because she was a customer of Roto, so Hiroto's men take Gaku to the street and start beating him, then Haru comes to save Gaku. After beating up Hiroto's man, he tells Hiroto that you should be proud of being your #1 host. Yes, but very soon I will snatch your position by becoming the #1 host. This fact hurts Hiroto's ego and he says that if you become the #1 host, then I will leave this job and if you are not able to do so, then you both will be thrown out. On the other hand, Haru upgrades his app by taking feedback from his clients. Earlier, the app had the facility of flower booking only for birthdays, but now people can make multiple bookings and their AI is different for every date. The type of flower was recommended and it also had a discount of 20 rupees, due to which their clients happily placed multiple orders, but they were ordering only once and were not getting repeat customers because most of the people were buying from offline shops. He used to like to buy flowers after seeing them well, hence Gaku adds the feature of 360 degrees flower viewing in his app so that the customers can buy flowers after seeing them well. In this way, a month passes and then the night comes when the decision had to be taken. Who is the hero and who is the #1 host among the losers? Both of them were sitting at different tables with their teams and they were ordering expensive champagne from their clients. When 10 minutes were left for the time up, there was a scandal. She calls the #1 host of this club, for which both Haru and Hiro come, then Ricky says that I will choose the one among you two who will offer me a suitable drink, so she offers the best brandy of her club. Haru does the same and offers a simple can of beer. Both of them ask Kurik to take their recommended drink. Everyone thought Kurik would go for the expensive brandy but she wins him over by taking Haru's beer can. Due to this, Haru becomes the new #1 host due to which all the customers of Hiroto will become Haru and the next day Haru starts leaving the club but Haru persuades him to work together. After 1 week, their sales reach 20 million, which makes Haru and Rin very happy, while Gaku gets emotional and starts crying. Further, Kaido tells Roki that you wanted to buy Shizu's business, if you lose. Shizu would have sold her company to you out of compulsion but you made her job easier. On this Kuriki says that the one who wins even after losing is called a juggler. I have something in my mind for Haru and Gaku. She has big plans which I will reveal when the time comes. She doesn't leave any chance after a month. She has got ads running on news channel billboards. But in the next scene it is revealed that all this was not done by Kuriki but by her dad and Kuriki. On the other hand, Haru and his team were against stealing someone's business model, but Haru and his team were very sad, but soon Haru finds a way out of it. He wants to buy a small gaming company and its creator with his profits. Meets Sakura and his team who were working in very bad conditions. Haru promises them a new office and a good work environment, and the very next day he invites them to his new office, which was very nice, and they stay there for a month. The rent was 3 million and Haru had deposited a security amount of 20 million. Gaku gets confused after knowing this while she calculates the loan that now we only have money left to operate for 6 months, whereas Sakura said that it will take 2 years to make a proper game and it will cost 1 billion rupees to make it. Then Haru shows them the survival island game, which has been closed, but there was a lot of craze for it at one time, so Haru recreates the same game with a modern touch. After a few days, Haru holds an announcement party for his mobile game development in which many investors are invited. Suzuki and Mr. Kaido also come here. Sakura presents her game idea in front of everyone. He wants to tell about it but he forgets his speech, so then he takes out the paper and reads out his idea to everyone, but till now Haru had not come to the party with the developer, so Gaku asks Sakura to stretch her speech but it starts repeating, due to which many investors start leaving from there. Then Haru enters like a hero. Then he brings Remote, the ex-developer of Dragon Bank Gaming Company, in front of everyone. Remote tells how he along with Trillion Game Company is trying to change the universe. He is the creator of the best game, so he asks investors to invest money in exchange for revenue share. The next day, Rin does all the calculations and tells him that we have raised 2 billion yen from yesterday's event, which makes the entire Haru team jump with joy, but when alone, Haru tells Gaku that Homei is an actor whom I had asked to act. Actually, the people of Dragon Gaming Company had kept their developers hidden from the world so that no one could lure them with money and kill them. AI-generated pic was uploaded which they named Horimo. I took advantage of the same thing and also tells Kako that my real motive is not to make any game but to control the media for which I wanted money. Which has now come to us in the name of investment in the game. Out of the 2 billion money, we will give some money to Sakura and her team and shut their mouth and also develop some small games and take over the media with the remaining money. Because if we form any company without media support, then a bigger company than us will either acquire us or will steal our idea and create its own business. Gaku gets shocked by this. He feels very bad for Sakura and her team. On the other hand, Kuriki's dad also understands Haru's trick. If he exposes Haru, then the media will ask him about the real creator, to which he does not want to answer. Kuriki is quite impressed by this trick of Haru. On the other hand, Haru tells Mr. Next day Rin comes running to the office and takes Gaku alone and tells him that 2 billion rupees have gone missing from our account. It must have been done by Haru. What is he doing? Rin is very angry. He stops Haru from confiding and tells him that it's all my fault. I didn't have the courage to stop Haru from doing this. In fact, I don't want our team to fight, but I promise that our game. After this, Rin and Gaku together tell the whole truth to Sakura's team. Poor guy, he was dreaming of making a game with Horimetu. His dream gets shattered, but Gaku tells that one of his classmates works in Dragon Company. I will meet him and try to find out about the development team of Dragon Gaming, but Gaku was also lying. Actually, the truth was that he was going to hack the server of Dragon Bank and find out about their development team. After everyone leaves, Gaku starts his hacking, due to which he not only gets exposed to the development team but also gets to know their future plans. Hence for a moment, Gaku's self-confidence gets shaken after downloading all those rough files. Later, he thinks of launching it under the name of his own game, but then he realizes that the team must have worked hard for many years to develop it, hence it would not be right to steal someone's work, whereas the next day Ricky will be given his own game. The team tells that someone had hacked our server. If he wanted, he could have made us lose billions by stealing the data, but he left a note for us that where are the problems in our server due to which the server was hacked and he should tell us soon. Carrick thinks this is Gaku's work because when he came for the interview, he was talking a lot about hacking, so she immediately calls Gaku and asks him out on a date the next day, which surprises Gaku. But for the first time, when someone asked her out on a date, she couldn't refuse. The next day, Kirki takes her to the adventure park where she freely enjoys with Gaku. Then at night, she sits on the junk wheel with Gaku. And then she asks him who hacked our server but did not steal any data. Why do you think he would have hacked the server? This makes Gaku nervous and thinks what would Haru have answered if he was in my place. Then he tells her that I don't know what you are talking about, but when Kirki insists, he says that maybe the hacker wants to extract the information of your gaming development team or something else which is not public. Time Kurik tells Gaku about hubby Jima, the head of her development team, which makes Gaku happy. In the next scene, Gaku meets hubby Jima along with Rin and Haru and agrees to help him make the game. After this, Jima comes to Trillion Games' office and meets the rest of his teammates to discuss the details of the game. Then they start making a Bubble Buster game. After some time, their game is ready. Haru's goal was to hurry up. 1 million people download and start playing this game. They had decided to launch their game on 6th, but on the same day, Regan Company also announces the launch of its new Bubble game, for which it is also running a lot of ads. Due to this, Sakura gets tensed while hubby Jima says that I have helped you in making the game, now my work is over, I have got the assignment to make a new game in Dragon Gaming Company. Sakura wants to stop Bajima but his Mayu are in charge. Talks about doing he got a salary of 180 million yen in Dagon Bank Company which Gaku can't afford, yet he offers shares in the profit to Heavy Jima at 3 if Bubble and Game makes 5 billion profit then Heavy Jima will get 150 million, but hubby Jima remembers Kuriki's dad's threats. Actually when he found out that hubby Jima is helping Trillion Game, he asked him to leave from there as soon as possible or else hubby Jama and Trillion Game he will ruin both of them, so sister-in-law Ma rejects Haru's offer. Next, he reaches the launch event of Dragon Gaming, where for the first time, Dragon Gaming gives credit to hubby Jima for being the developer, but hubby Jima remembers the time spent in Trillion Games. Haru starts coming and he announces in front of everyone that today itself I am leaving Dragon Gaming and joining Trillion Games. This gives a lot of publicity to Trillion Games. On the other hand, Haru buys a talent media agency from which he can earn money from his popular models. Bubble promotes gaming so that the game completes 1 million downloads within 10 days of its release and it also comes within the top 3 games of the Play Store and within a few days the game becomes the #1 game. Due to which Gaku and his team are very happy and they party hard, and on the same day Haru reveals that we have made a profit of 5 billion from the game, i.e. now we all have become millionaires, but Haru still has his dreams of earning trillion yen. He had not forgotten that he wants to open an online channel named Trillion TV. Both of them then go to Mr. Kendo In and tell him about their idea, to which Mr. Kendo In says that you have to learn how to make shows first and he is a distributor. This is not going to happen overnight, it will take time, but Haru had thought about all this. He first learns video distribution by buying a weather forecasting channel and then, with the model of his media agency, he will make new shows soon. Haru also gets a sponsorship from a mobile phone company, but later he learns that Dragon Bank has bought a foreign firm named Durex, so Haru decides to broadcast only news on his channel to avoid conflict with Dragon Bank. To avoid this, Gaku makes an AI-based video analyzer which broadcasts real and fake news on identification and also sends reporters outside the restaurant to do lab reporting on the spot and also gets the footage from a person inside the restaurant, which other news channels did not have. Due to this, their news channel gets a lot of viewership and it also helps the police to deal with this situation. They easily enter the restaurant and catch the criminal. Haru and his team are happy with this. Next, he along with his team has made an anime. In this too he has to face the Dragon Company. While Kuriki's diet, Mr. Kendo, wants to meet and shake hands with him, he wants Mr. Kendo to leave Haru's side in return. He promises to give all his advertisements to Mr. Kato In, which Mr. Kendo can give to the models of his talent media house. Mr. Kendo tells all this to Haru, to which Haru replies that you can give all this to the models of your talent media house. You should do what you feel is right and never miss a good offer, but still Mr. Kido rejects Rick's dad's offer. Then Dragon Bank's Goku calls Haru and Mr. Kidon to his office and befriends them. Now he wants to buy all the stocks of Trillion Games. For this he was ready to give 70 billion rupees. Along with this he was also ready to give his daughter, meaning he wanted to get Kirki married to Haru and make him his son-in-law because he loved Haru. Gaku is surprised by the passion he once had, but is even more surprised when Haru tells him that he is already married, so he cannot accept the offer. This makes Kairi scared. But later Gaku learns that Haru lied about getting married so that Kuriki would not be embarrassed if he refused to marry. Next day, after having a nice talk with Haru, Gaku and Mr. Kidan, he meets Kuriki's dad and rejects his offer. He also says that you want to buy our company and we want to buy your company. Kuriki's dad finds this funny and starts laughing out loud, but how did he know that Haru would think that? He shows it by doing also. To make his company bigger, he creates a cashless bank so that people can transfer money online. In this also he has to face a lot of difficulties, but he and his team do not give up. After this, Haru Public Railway wants to take Sai Sai under its wing. The news of this goes to Raki's dad. He calls Haru for lunch and tells him that we have already partnered with Soy Soy and this is just the beginning. Gaku, on the other hand, the team learns that due to a virus in their Steam service, the server has been downed, due to which they will not be able to do the lab. At the same time, the gaming server has also been downed. Gaku checks the system and finds out that someone has hacked their server and stolen all the data of the game division, television division and business division. The addresses and account numbers of all the users of Trillion Games have been stolen. Gaku immediately calls and tells Haru about the data leak, after which Kuriki's dad. He says to Haru that you rejected our offer of 70 billion rupees and thought that you will make an even bigger company than this, but now look, people will question your credit worthiness, but if you fall on your knees and ask for my help then I will still be your company. This makes Haru very angry, but he thinks it is better to remain silent. The very next day, Rin, being the president of the company, holds a press conference and apologizes to her users for the data leak, then she blames herself for this mistake. Kar is held responsible and resigns from the post of president of Trillion Game Company. In the next scene, Haru gets down on his knees and asks for help from Kuriki's dad and then also asks if marrying his daughter is still an option. Gaku Haru he takes Ko aside and asks what is the plan behind this. On this, Haru says that I don't have any plan in this situation, I have to earn 1 trillion yen. If I marry Kuriki, then I will have trouble with her dad. After learning, I will easily earn 1 trillion vehicles. This makes Gaku feel very bad because Kaku and Haru will get 30 billion but the hard work done by his employee will go in vain, but Haru only thinks about himself, due to which Gaku gets angry and goes there. The next day, Haru comes to the office of Trillion Game Company as the director of Dragon Company. His team does not believe that Haru can do this. After Haru and Mr. Don sell their shares, Trillion Company now belongs to Dragon Company. After the takeover, a Dragon Company employee becomes the president of Lean Games. He is very angry. He assigns him the task of finding bugs in the game instead of doing creative work. Gaku is put in the general department. Gaku spends time with Haru. He starts crying remembering the moments that happened. At night, Haru comes to meet Gaku and says that apart from earning trillion yen, I had another dream, I wanted to destroy Dragon Company. Kurik's dad has done many scams, I will expose them. I want to do it, but for this I need your help. You have to steal all the data from the CEO's computer. Knowing the truth, Gaku agrees to help him. He steals the data and puts it online, which helps in blackmailing Kuriki's dad. The matter of giving bribes to marketeers and big ministers gets exposed, but he quickly gets the entire video blocked by telling just one news. After this, he calls a meeting of the board members, in which he also calls Gaku and Haru. In fact, when Gaku went to the CEO's office to steal data, he deleted the CCTV footage, but there was another hidden CCTV due to which he was caught, but they did not know that Haru scared Shockholder by showing him the dark truth about the CEO. Due to which they sold their respective stocks. Now Haru has 16 shares of Dragon Company's stock. He sets the rest of the board members as his own. He also asked Gaku to hack the CEO's webcam. So when he was exposed, he asked the cabinet minister to delete all the videos, and at that time he talked to him about many other things, the video of which reached Gaku, and now it is a solid proof, but there was still a need to share it on 6. Only then will the shares be completed at 51, which will make Haru the new CEO. Kurik's dad thinks that this is his daughter, she will not do this at all, but she agrees to give the shares because if she doesn't do this then Haru will expose her dad in public, which will ruin Dragon Bank, so she agrees to Haru's advice to save her company. After this, a twist comes. Haru gives Gaku to Dragon Company instead of herself. After this, Gaku and Haru go to Rin, who was working at a flower shop. They tell her everything and take her back to the company. In the next scene, Gaku and Haru are on the top floor of Dragon Bank Company. And remember how working here was his own, and now he had become the CEO of this company. After a few days, Trillion Game Company acquires its parent company Dragon Bank. Gaku becomes the CEO of Trillion Game Company. And Kuriki is made the president of Dragon Bank, while he buys Mizuki's flower business and makes Rin its president, but Haru disappears somewhere without informing. He comes back after 2 years when Gaku is buying food from the food vending machine. Then his note gets blown away by the wind, which Haru catches and then puts it back in his Lamborghini. This story ends here with this final scene.